Well, you all know that this was coming to a close. And Confessions of an Ex-Nuwaubian series is done after this episode, part 25. That my main goal within creating this series is to warn people that if you don't believe in yourself, you'll wind up believing in someone else, such as your Dr. Malachi z.yorks. You see, I could sit here and I could blame everybody. I could blame Dr. York, I could blame the Nuwaubians for putting me in this particular situation, for me joining the organization, or rather the cult, and the things that I went through or been through. But in all actuality, it's my fault. Nobody put a gun to my head. Nobody forced me to become a Nuwaubian. Nobody forced me to become a part of the bookstore. So therefore, it's my ultimate responsibility that I have to be held accountable for. It's that plain and simple. I can't blame anyone for my actions. And it's true. I believed in a man that said he was from another planet. That's the reality. That's the harsh reality. And I know some of you all may laugh and say, well, wow, man, I'll never believe in a man from another planet. But if you are a Christian, you really do. You really do believe that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior and that he comes from heaven. So you can't point the finger at me and say that I was in a cult, but then turn around and believe in your Lord and Savior Jesus that you can't prove exists. We all believe in someone or something to a certain degree. It's just that you have extremists such as myself, well, at least what I used to be, extreme, into believing that a man that said he had 76 trillion years of knowledge. You understand that? A man that's roughly right now, I think he's in his late 60s, he said he had 76 trillion years of knowledge. But then, at the same time, he can't manage to bail himself out. He can summon a planet-sized ship called Nibiru, but he can do something like extremely extraordinary like that. Summon a ship, a planet-sized ship called Nibiru. But you can't get yourself out of a jail that humans made. But this is what I believed. For years, it wasn't 1 year or 5 years, it was damn near 20 years. And I had to come to the conclusion one day that I was in a cult. And that I believed in a man more than I believed in myself. And that's the reality of it is. Most of us that are truth seekers, that are searching for something, we're always going, looking for that something externally, outside of us, not knowing that that journey is supposed to be within. And I had to admit that to myself. I had to admit that I didn't know that. And I went throughout all these years being in this cult for nothing. You see, Dr. York always says, you love the white man because the white man gives you nothing. But I can honestly say that Dr. York, or rather Dwight York, we loved him because he gave us nothing. He told us that we were gods, but yet and still, we never acted like one. We were workers. We were what you call Lulu Amalus, primitive workers. That's in the doctrine. That's what we were. And that's all he wanted us to be. And it's just that plain and simple. This man is the master of the universe, but yet and still he can't manage to get himself out of jail. While he was in jail, he said that an alien, a Grey, came and visited him named Krill and healed him of his angioedema. And we believe that. not questioning and saying, well, yo, if Krill came and healed you of your angioedema, why he just didn't come and pick you up and take you out of jail? And this is the blind eyes that the Nuwaubians have, but yet and still they'll sit back and say that they have right knowledge, right wisdom, and right understanding. Plain and simple. It's obvious that they don't. It's obvious that they're just as blind as any other person that is part of a religion. Because you are believing in something externally instead of believing in someone internally. Yourself. This is the reason why there are so many misfits in the organization. Everybody's looking for something and not knowing that there's something that they're looking for is within. That plain and simple. I made these videos because I want you all out there. If you are believing in him or anyone else, stop and start to believe in yourself, because that's what it's all about. You believe in you, and everything will be okay. Ever since I started believing in myself, ever since I started having faith and belief in myself, all of the things that I was doing in the Nuwaubian nation, as well as when I was a Christian, I just took those things and it embedded it in me. My life has been great. Life has been great. And I end this chapter of this book called Confessions of an Ex-Nuwaubian. I close the book for good. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I know the Nuwaubians are gonna get at me. I don't care, because I ain't no Nuwaubian. But they're gonna try to attack me, you know what I'm saying? By saying blah, 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 right? If someone comes to me, and I already said that, you know what I'm saying? Someone comes up to me like People Magazine, Time Magazine, and wants to do an interview with me, and they want me to tell my story, and they're willing to pay me for it, oh yes, I'll take that. But other than that, you won't hear from me again about anything that has anything to do with Nuwaubu and Dr. York, unless it's something new and I have to attack it because I know that that's not true. Other than that, you'll never hear me talk about that organization again, because I want to dead it, period. So yes, I'll take some money, no doubt, because at the end of the day, Dr. York owes me money. He owes me for those comic books I bought. He owes me for the money that I gave his legal fees, his attorneys. I gave them $500. I also was sending Fatima, his mother, money for her prescription pills. He owes me for that. And by the way, come to think about it, see, I'm thinking like a Nuwaubian. Right now, there's right wisdom and understanding. I'm just trying to understand this. Please make me understand this. If Krill the Gray came to your prison and healed you of angioedema, why couldn't Krill the Gray go to your mother and heal her as well? See, this is what I'm talking about. And this is the reason why I know for a fact the Nuwaubians, also known as the Sabians, would never want to debate me, because it's the simple things. It's the simple things that I point out that make sense. It's just that plain and simple. I'm not going to attack your teacher. I ain't going to talk about the child molestation charges or none of that stuff. I'm going to kick straight doctrine, because I know the doctrine just like you all do. And it's that plain and simple. Does the organization, or rather cult, need to be dismantled? No. But at the same time, Dr. York needs to render over his power to someone else that's capable of leading, sincerely and truthfully capable of leading that organization. Period. Dr. York right now is Donald Trumping the Nuwaubians. He won't concede. He won't. Do you see the selfishness in that? He'll rather attempt to lead his followers while in jail. And he's damn near, 67, 68, going on 70. And all he would have to do is render his power to someone that's younger, that has a fresh mind, that's literally free, and that can help the organization as well as help free him too. But he won't do that, because it's ego. And this is something that was taught to us in the mind book about the ego. this what bugs me out. Believe in yourself, boys and girls. Believe in yourself, young men and young women. Believe in yourself, man and woman. Believe in yourself, black family. Believe in yourself, whatever race you are, whatever race you are. Stop believing in men, because at the end of the day, if you believe in men, guess what? You'll be turning on these two lights right here and this ring light right here and pushing record, just like I am. You'll have a message or a story to tell. You think I want to get on this camera and talk about the different things that I went through? Don't you understand that some of these things are embarrassing to even speak of? Some of these things, if you all didn't know me, well, you don't really. So some of these things would assassinate my character, because people will really think like, oh, man, you soft, you this, you that. Nah, I was under the spell of Dr. Malachi Z.York, and it's just that plain and simple. Now that I'm in full control, mentally control of myself, now I make sound decisions. But I can tell you, when I was Nuwaubian, I didn't. I did what the Nuwaubians did. I was told to do something, and I did whatever the Nuwaubians wanted me to do. And it's just that plain and simple. It's not complicated about it. It's nothing complicated about that. Dr. York used to say it all the time. Yo, I'm retired. I'm not debating anybody, but I've debated the greatest and this and that. So, who? I've never seen you debate anyone. No one. Period. And the reason why you'll never see that is because, one, he's not never getting out of jail. And two, with his doctrine, he would lose, just like how Sakina lost to the Hebrew Israelites. His doctrine is made up of characters that he can't even prove that exist. Beings that he says that are inside the planet, called in that city called Shambhala and Agatar. Inside the planet. That he can't even prove exist. And this is crazy to me, man. That, I just can't believe that I believed in a man. But it's not so far-fetched, because prior to believing in that man, I believed in Jesus. And the reason why I believed in Jesus and I believed in Dr. Malachi Z.York is because, not making no excuses, and like I said before, at the end of the day, I'm responsible for my own actions, whether they be negative or positive. Nobody put a gun to my head. But the reason why I followed those men, because I didn't have a man in my life. I didn't have a role model in my life. I mean, I could say my uncle, he was a entrepreneur. Well, he still is. He's an entrepreneur, a carpenter. He builds communities now. But he was too busy to mentor me and be my role model. And he had children himself. You see what I'm saying? So I got caught up in it because I was looking for someone to teach me how to be a man. And it's sad to say I had to find out the hard way. So at the end of the day, what I'm telling you is, be aware of people such as your Dr. Yorks and your cults such as the Nuwaubian Nation. Stop believing in man. Stop running to an organization. Face your fears. Look at that man or that woman in the mirror and face your fears. Dig deeper internally and love yourself and believe in yourself, because that's the only reason why you're running to this person and that person. You're only trying to find yourself, and that is the truth. You're only trying to improve yourself, and that is the straight up and down truth. And had somebody told me that back in '94, when I was on St. Augustine's College, when I was going to St. Augustine's College, in the student union, the cafeteria, had somebody said that to me in 1995, the things that I'm telling you, I would have walked away from that table that had all of those books of Dwight York, and I never wouldn't have thought about it ever again.